What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action in the bottom of the map in the blue color playing as Loki. His name is Matreiuss. Matreiuss the Wise. Matreiuss the Great. Matreiuss the Loki on Mediterranean. His opponent today in the red color playing as Ra. His name is Joe. Yes, we do have a very, very spicy one for you here. Ra versus Loki on Mediterranean. Not a matchup you get to see very often, but a matchup nonetheless. And the big question here comes, who is actually stronger on this map? Because you don't see Loki very often on Mediterranean, or Ra on Mediterranean for that matter, in tournaments. Because when players pick either Uranus, Kronos, Zeus, Hades, Poseidon, these gods really, really struggle for the most part. There's not really a big, good reason to pick Loki or Ra here. So which one's going to be stronger? Maybe they're about equal. Maybe they're not. I actually don't really have a good answer for this. I think that the longer the water fight goes on, the better off the Loki player should be. I think that's kind of it, but the Ra player should have the advantage in the early game, so that might be enough to force a win to some degree, and that's just because of the boosted economy, some variety. But then again, Loki economy is also very, very strong. And we see Joe moving forward to drop a second dock really, really early. This is not a play that I recommend for Ra players, and I'll explain why after we drop over onto the Loki player, Matreiuss, just to see exactly what he's doing. You can see he's sharing the Ox card here. I love this play. Always want to be sharing the Ox card if you can for the hunt. It's going to allow you to have a really, really nice time in the early game. As we also see the dwarves are out here as well. Fishing ships coming through here onto these Maki, and all the good things happening here. It's a very, very standard opening here for Matreiuss. He doesn't go for the double docks, which I think is pretty good. I think you can go double docks and get like a 4:30 advance time. It's really, really good. Anyways, back to the point here in that dropping these double docks is a little bit inefficient because it means you can't afford to get your 4:30 advance time out because you need more gold. In effect, you need more gold out. You need another 100 gold to gather as opposed to just 50 gold to gather. Plus, you need to be able to get all the wood out to get your fishing ships, and you just simply put can't afford to do it. So Joe's going to have to go for something a little bit different here to hold on to the water. Otherwise, he's just going to give Matreiuss the early game advantage here. And it's going to be a difficult time for him to kind of deal with it. So we'll see how he's going to go. There is a build which Egyptian players used to do, like way back when, and I actually stole that build for a little bit before I put it in the bin where it belongs, which was a 5-minute advance time with 5 docks. It was an Isis build, but also did it with Ra and Set, and it would allow you to basically have a really, really nice defensive place to kind of sit and hold. But truth be told, you don't need 5 docks. You just need 3, and you can actually throw down the next 2 docks if you really want extra defenses against your opponent a little bit later in the game for no real problem. Anyways, we'll see how things are going to go here as Joe's now throwing up his temple in Supreme Joe fashion with the 2 villagers on the temple and the priest. This is peak Joe. We'll see how it's going to go. Meanwhile, Matreiuss, on the other hand, is going to be going up through 4 steady here. This is roughly where I see Loki players advancing on Mediterranean. But you really want to be cutting that one villager. You really want to be cutting one villager and getting closer to 4:30 here rather than anything else. You can see 4 dwarves, 12 gatherers. I think 11 gatherers, 4 dwarves is the aim. But we don't see that here for Matreiuss. He's getting his dock up. He needs to get the dock up and then immediately throw a house down. He's going for a 3rd dock here as well. So he might be able to get this up, but he needs to put that house down as soon as he hits the classical age, because it takes 14 seconds for a longboat to train. It takes 14 seconds for a house to build. So he might throw that up a little bit later as we see a Hearser. Oh, the Hearser comes out, so he'll be able to grab that one. No problems. Did he get himself hand axe here? He also got himself hand axe. That's a good amount of food that he's managed to get here in order to be in a good position. As Dark coming through for Joe, no real surprises. Joe actually getting himself more than 9 fishing chips while going later to the classical age. Now, I think that this play is actually not the worst if you come over onto this corner here and drop a dock, because you can and you can just put that down with the fishing ships if you like, because it's going to be like another place where you can just garrison and defend, no problems. But yeah, we'll see how things are going to go as the cabinets are starting to come out for Joe. Matreiuss as well, getting his own longboats out, starting to push forward. He has found these fishing ships on the outer rim here, as it were. They're going to start taking these ones out. We got an interesting question here from Loki Tito in the chat. Do you prefer a Nilla style 4-minute up as Aggie? There is no real reason to go fast on this map unless you've, well, and fight water normally, because it's just, you just can't do that much damage. Your opponent just garrisons and comes out with a bigger economy than you, more ships, and you have to retreat back and you find yourself in a difficult position. However, you can do some cheeky shenanigans like advancing 4-minute advance and then, or 3:48 advance. And then going for a shifting sands play onto your opponent's docks to take them down with villages to give yourself an advantage on the water, and then fish up the water and have an advantage there. But yeah, that's more of a set strategy than a raw strategy, as it were, as Joe right now pumping out these cabinets as best as he can, drops his fishing ship back out here to get just a little bit more food. As the cabinets coming through, we've got ourselves a whole bunch of wood in the bank here for Joe. Matreiuss, on the other hand, he's spending his resources really, really nicely here. Still building out his longboats, just staying a little bit back. Sees a couple of fishing ships over here. Going to be pushing in to prevent them from hanging out on this location, as the cabinets are going to be popping out here. And we're going to be seeing Matreiuss immediately starting to take this fight. Good micro here from Matreiuss. And Joe here he kind of has the difficulty in this position to get his fishing ships back to work, and he does manage to do so relatively efficiently. I think the best way to do it is, before you're going to be clicking out, you just want to click on the docks, right click on the fish, and then hit the eject button on everything, and that way all your cabinets come out, your fishing ship come out as well. So we see the fight ensuing. We've got 14 cabinets through for Joe, and only 13 longboats here. So if Joe can simply just micro this a little bit better, make sure his units are all fighting. Matreiuss is microing this incredibly well, as this fishing ship is getting away with murder sitting on this location, and it doesn't go down. It does go, no. Oh, it somehow gets back to the dock there with 1 HP, as the boat's still pushing forward. Good micro here from Matreiuss. Joe, on the other hand, is getting beaten up incredibly well right now by Matreiuss's micro. As you can see over here, he could pull this boat back if he so chose, but currently decided to sit in on this location. Joe sitting at 64 population, Matreiuss sitting at 75 population, so he's got somewhat of an advantage here, as Joe is continuously trying to pull back boats, but I feel like he is hurting himself more than he is assisting himself in this one, as the fishing ship's dropping into the dock here. A couple of very low HP boats in here for Matreiuss right now, but he has got such an advantage here in terms of ship numbers 12 to 7 at this point, that the docks that are sitting here just do not do anything when all is said and done, as Matreiuss manages to absolutely dismantle these cabinets here. So now Matreiuss has got 2 options here. You can either just decide to go to the heroic age. I think going to the heroic age through Njord here is actually a really, really good idea. Or he can choose to drop a town center, which I think is an equally good idea to take his advantage. But we are still seeing Matreiuss pushing in underneath this dock here and kind of losing longboats a little bit. We see a couple more fishing ships have come out for Matreiuss here, as he is going to have to get pushed back at this point. As you see the longboats starting back up again. Lots of wood and gold in the bank here for Matreiuss to spend to get his units out. But Joe here, 62 population. We see the armory coming up. He's going to be sitting back here nice and defensively, trying to get his ships out. All well and good, as we see a lumber camp being rebuilt here by Joe, as a couple of those fishing ships are going to be getting taken out, retreating into the dock at this point, as we see the longboats moving forward, trying to take these longboats out as best as they can. But they're going to be pulling back here and sitting in this position, just holding on. Matreiuss doesn't need to win the water. We see a longhouse coming down now for Matreiuss. He's also got the other option of just simply going Bragi here instead of Njord. While I like Njord to get the you get the Walking Woods to clean up your opponent's docks. You get the Kraken to assist you with a big win on the water. And you can see that Joe's trying to be a little bit tricky with his boat move, but he's just taking so much damage while he's moving around, and he's just giving Matreiuss, he's just handing Matreiuss an advantage in this in these water fights here. As Joe's sitting at 77 pop, Matreiuss sitting at 96 population. There's good micro here from Matreiuss yet again, still trying to push in and take out these cabinets which Joe's building. We see 16 longboats to Joe's 12 cabinets, as it seems like Matreiuss is not going to be allowing Joe into this water fight at all. And here's the other thing that's a really big feature of this map. Town center in range of water. So this gives another big plus to the idea of going for Njord here as well. The Matreiuss, not only do you get to kill off the dogs, get the Kraken and everything else, but you also get that upgrade from going where is it? I can't remember. Is it not here? Oh, there it is. You also get Long Serpent from going Njord, which is going to help you out to hold the water and take out a dock or take out a town center or something. As Joe does decide to grab himself this town center over here, he's going to be getting his villagers onto food here. He's got lots of villagers on gold at this point. There's longboats coming through onto this location over here. And we'll see what Matreiuss is going to do. At this point, it looks like he's trying to grab a town center. He has cut his docks here quite a lot. And it looks like he's getting a lot of fishing ships out, but if you just put a dock over on this position here, these fishing ships kind of become efficient to some degree. Or definitely worthwhile grabbing, so Matreiuss is going to be enjoying that there. Do we have an armory up for Matreiuss? No armory here just yet. He will be throwing a dock here. I would love a dock and an armory, but he's going for the town center first and foremost, as we see Joe's sneaking around this corner here with a cabinet, going to be looking for some fishing ship kills or something like that. There's the Ursa over here getting a little bit of pain there. As the longboats moving over onto this location, we see the cabinet going to be retreating back here. And Joe, at this point, I'm sure he's going to be getting himself his Shadoof and everything else. Get himself that next town center over here if he can. Matreiuss getting that fourth dock up as the longboat's coming back in onto this position. He's still got 13 longboats here. And Joe is just like, nah, no more cabinets. He's got himself 5 cabinets at this point, but that's about it. Big problem for Joe right now is he needs food. He is going to be spamming down these farms. He's got 17 farms here. So you can get those coming very, very quickly. Matreiuss gets his town center up, throws down the armory. I think Njord is still the best option right now, but Bragi also makes a lot of sense, especially if you just move forward and grab this town center up here. As we do see the longhouse is coming through here. We've got rain coming in as well, which means no block for the Walking Woods as well. So you see this town center over on this location going up with just a couple of Hersa over there. As the longboats are just going to be sitting back here doing what they do. And I'm sure Joe's going to be able to click up to the next stage very, very shortly as we see some barracks coming down to get those very, very scary axemen out. It's super important to have axemen against Loki because Loki is going to be having those Hersa, which are very, very tough to deal with for Egyptian otherwise. As Bragi is now going to be coming through for Matreiuss. So, I mean, it's not a surprise, but I don't think it's the 100% smoothest way to win. But you obviously I've got Omniscience, so I know that Walking Woods is going to kill this town center, and I know that the Kraken are going to be able to hold this and all the other good stuff. But we see this town center coming down now as a temple's going to be coming up onto this position. A couple of axemen are going to come through here and attempt to deny this one here. As Matreiuss currently sitting at full population here, simply put, not going to be able to get this location up. Going to be deciding to retreat back here for the time being, trying to put a temple up somewhere else at this point. As the fourth town center is just about to pop up. We do have all of these units queued up. We've got a whole bunch of longhouses with raiding cavalry coming through. The temple going to be getting thrown up there, as well as the battle ball going to be immediately starting to come through. Healing spring on this position as well to heal up his Hearser here. He's going to be able to be a big help to boot. But Joe here going up through Hathor, getting himself this town center as fast as he possibly can. He does have this gold mine over here with 3,000 gold left. He can move in and potentially grab this one as well, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Matreiuss jumping Mythic Age really, really soon after all is said and done, as the cabinets coming through are going to be trying to snipe down some of those fishing ships over here. There are still a whole handful of longboats to come through, as the town center does end up coming up here for Joe, as well as a longhouse coming in, as the flaming weapon's going to come through. It's going to boost his longbows to take out the opponent's cabinets there, as well as all those fishing ships getting taken down there. And these units have to retreat for the time being. The rock coming through here to help out just a little bit, but the battle ball going to be able to start taking that town center down, doing tons of damage here. Not only that, we've got the Thrown Axeman that could potentially get itself the upgrade, which does bonus damage against flying units, as all of these cabinets are getting taken down. The docks over here can get cleaned up as well, as this town center is not long for this world here. And in that moment, Joe says, all right, you got me. GG, as Matreiuss too strong here on this water map. With that, I think this one just came down mostly to micro. If you take a look at the post game and you take a look at this is the number you always kind of want to look at on the water. It's 51 cabinets to 42 longboats. That tells the whole story. That many cabinets more than your opponent's longboats, you should win the water. And Joe unfortunately just could not manage his ships there. There was this a little bit of a history lesson at this point, which is it goes back to like how people were microing on water, and what we were seeing people doing and having success with way back when was this thing called it was basically just like over microing, but it's this thing called multiple ship grab pulls. So you would what would happen is in your ship fight, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's 10 ships here. And if you wanted to pull back the forward ship to retreat, pull back through the enemy ships here, you would pull that back and it would not go through your ship, so it would end up being a useless action. So people would pull back the line of ships there to make sure that that ship that's being focus fired would pull back. And what would happen back in the day was people just weren't that good at reacting, not that fast reacting to that type of micro. So it would be hyper effective at winning those water fights because they just wouldn't refocus fast enough. But as players are getting better and better, or have gotten better, it ends up being that it's not a good idea to pull more than one ship. So you want to be picking the ships to pull back, which are able to be pulled back without being disturbed, so to speak. But Matreiuss showed that exactly in this game. If you go back and watch the micro, exactly how to make that work. And Joe's kind of on the old style there to some degree. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.